After today's recovery, where it looked like after a gap close, breaking 3,700 seemed like a foregone conclusion, here we are once again moving higher. So the simple question is this time to think about buying a rally, or are we still shorting into the rip? I'm Raghee Horner, and we're going to go over what's going on this daily time frame of the S&P. So traders, we are all looking at the same action. The action that ran stops through the support of the June low, and then we rallied. Ran stops below the support of the September low, and we rallied. There's two ways to look at this, and both are actually valid, but it depends on where price is in terms of which we will do. Frankly, this being a downtrend, now how do we even gauge that? I look at the 8, 13, 21, and 34 exponential moving averages, and that's why you can see this trend label is red, or the lower row of this indicator here is red. Structure. In this environment, when we rally, it's far more probable that we'll reach a level of resistance and then sink back down. I don't mean to new lows necessarily, but just that the probability is for more downside follow through after a retracement. Where is that level? I think it's pretty obvious, and we can see it here with the Darvis. In that area, and I would even consider the 3,800 level as a level to watch. Today's high, by the way, was 37.77 and a quarter. So we didn't quite tag 3,800. But this would be a short the rip. What does that even mean? That means a rip, a rally, a retracement into resistance. That's a lot of R's, but it works. A rip into a rally, this rip / rally into a level of resistance is shortable. Long SPY puts, short ES futures, short MES micro, however you want to do it. The validity for this trade is to about 38.50. I would continue to be fairly bearish to about 38.50. And this Darvis level, which is based on the October 5 high, is sitting at 38.20. All right. So you're saying if we're seeing strength, this is setting up a short sell. Yes. Because the flip side of this is what most traders do. They see strength and they buy it. Do that as a day trader. Focus on that on a 5-minute time frame and get flat at the end of the day. But longer term, we're looking to set up a short. Once or if that short triggers and we get set back down lower, down at this level, we start to see support, perhaps even the previous June low. In this area, that's a zone of support. Up in this area, again, even including 3,800 to about 38.50, this area is resistance. So it depends on what end of the range we're on that will dictate what we're going to do next. The short is the one that is in agreement with the structure. The short is also what's in agreement with a volume pattern. 3 times now, the -1 standard deviation of this is a volume pattern using the VWAP. I know it's a little bit different a visualization, but it gives us excellent support and resistance to understand something in a little bit more similar nature to an overbought or oversold indicator like a slow stochastic. There are ranges, there are extremes, and at the upper end, there's more expectation of resistance. At the lower end, there's more expectation of support. So you can see we're up towards that top edge again. That coupled with resistance, that coupled with the downtrend, that's setting up a short, but not a short where I'm expecting breaking down to brand new lows, etc. It's just going to take us then likely to the other end of this zone, which is another volume derived support, which just brings me to the fact that we are bouncing back and forth on price-based zones, on volume-based zones, gang. And that's a big part of, frankly, you might recall, Why back in July I said it's time to get long. Same kind of idea. Is it time to do that yet? Is it time to say, hey, it's time for a sustained move to the upside? Not yet. Not quite yet. However, it took almost a month to first give me the initial signal with volume, and then the other two pieces fell into place. So I still have two pieces yet. I've got one of three. I still need two more pieces to fall into place before I start thinking about a sustained move to the upside. I'll talk about it here when we get it. But I want you thinking about volume, support, and resistance as a function of what's happening right now. It's working. It's working really well, and that's why I point it out. All right? What do we do? It depends on what end of this range we're on. What's in agreement with the structure? It's a short, gang. It's a short. And that might sound funny because I'm probably one of the more bullish, maybe, traders out there at the moment. I'm not calling for brand new significant lows in any way. However, let's take a look at the structure that we have and realize that a short in this area down to Darvish support is a very reasonable and very prudent setup. It's not aggressive. It's not expecting the market to do anything that it hasn't already been willing to do. All right. And with that being said, if this is somewhat intriguing to you, next Tuesday, a week from today, 8 p.m., I'm going to start walking you through some of these processes. I'm going to walk you through possibly a tool that you've already got from me that you may not be using in a way that right now has been very effectively allowing me to trade on the daily time frame as well as being a day trader, and that's the V-score. I know a lot of you have it. And I'm going to be updating a lot of what I'm doing with that tool, which is now 14 years old. Yeah, about 14 years old. And I'm going to update what I'm doing with it now and how it's making such a big difference. And for those of you that don't know what that is, volume patterns and why is that a buy in the zones, we'll talk more about that on Tuesday. So it's going to be I'm already looking at the slide deck. It's going to be a really educational conversation. And again, if you have the V-score now, you are not going to want to miss that conversation. And if you don't have a way to understand volume patterns, you're not going to want to miss it. Next Tuesday, October 25, 8 p.m. All right, gang, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them below. I check them every evening. Thank you for smashing that like button if it's moving the needle for you. All right, gang, be good to each other. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.